Hey everyone, welcome to Tony Hawk's Underground 2 Remix. I'm Aesthetic, with me on this is Blank Tester.
Hey kids, how's it going?
Skylar.
Hello.
And Zindictive.
Yo lads.
Alright, so Thug 2 Remix is a exclusive portable version of Tony Hawk's Underground 2 on the PlayStation Portable, released about half a year later after the console version, and developed by Shaba Games.
Good old Shaba.
Yeah. And so actually Thug 2 Remix, you know, it's a portable version, but it actually has 4 additional levels to the 6 levels that were in Thug 2. And all of them have their own full campaign setups, story mode setups, you know, 24 goals, cutscenes exclusive to them and such. So we're looking at that content. And so yeah, actually the first level you go to, Santa Cruz, is a new one.
Yo dudes, break out the SPF 5000 because we're about to show these bums what it feels like to get seriously burned. So you ready to get rolling? Start out by knocking out the stuff that'll rack us up some serious points. Come and see me when you're ready to move on.
So yeah, like, you start out and yeah, you go to training, and of course I got most of my stat points in training, but yeah, then like instead of heading to Boston, you'll go to Santa Cruz for your first main level.
Yep, it really changes up how story works.
Hey, it's the sea lions from Tony Hawk 4.
Yeah. So the gameplay is the same as the console version, really. You know, what they had to lose were some graphical downgrades, and I think they lost a few of the Create-A modes. Like, I believe they lost Create-A Park, but the same soundtrack is there, I believe, the full soundtrack. Like I mentioned, these 4 levels, which will be in both story mode and classic mode. So the 4 videos, or the 5 videos for Thug 2 Remix will be the 4 videos in their story mode versions, and then you'll see all 4 of them back-to-back in classic mode. Yeah. More fun ways to make a funny character, I guess.
Yeah.
Covering... Oh, go ahead.
I will say that with Remix's levels of Santa Cruz here, I like Santa Cruz. I mean, it's a good level. It's just... the goals are kind of lackluster, in a sense.
I thought... oh, what's up?
I was gonna say, I spend a fair bit of time in Santa Cruz. From time to time, I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, but my parents live in Santa Cruz. And, this does have the feel of Santa Cruz already. I mean, just looking around.
Yeah.
Like, the buildings and the space is very clean and also, kind of colorful. And the ocean is a big part of the culture there. And, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty impressed with the aesthetic. I don't know if necessarily the levels well designed because I haven't seen much of it yet.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll just point out real quick, kind of a funny thing I wasn't expecting. So I did create a couple extra tricks since I got some late create a trick requests. And this goal here where you need to, you know, do the tricks for the kid, I guess they pull into the double tap grabs and such, so I accidentally had to do a bunch of those creative tricks that I set up. So it's like, yeah, hey skater, can you help me? I've been trying to learn a kickflip. Also, I'm trying to learn this insane backflip spinny move.
Excuse me, Mr. Skater, can you show me how to do fetch? Are you sure? It defies physics. Yeah, please. Okay.
So the Choo-Choo motherfuckers and the fat shark, were introduced. But yeah, so Shaba Games, I mean, we've talked about them before. They are were part of Activision's kind of Tony Hawk assistance lineup and did the Generation 5 version of Tony Hawk 3. And so they're really competent. And here, I think they learned some things from the base Thug 2 level design. Like, here is another kind of level where it's more long than wide and is next to the beach. And we kind of complained about, like, Australia, you know, when you're on the beach, you can't really do anything. Well, here it's sort of the same way, where if you're on the beach, you have to get off of your board, but they're going to introduce, like, logs that get scattered across the sand so you can grind on those as part of your combo line.
Plus, when it comes to all these skaters we'll be seeing, they're not even, like, goofy skaters. They're all pretty much legitimate. Like, this guy's just a longboarder.
Yeah, so also, you know, there's still the secret character and guest character, and there are new ones for these levels. And the guest characters, whereas in the original Thug 2, they were all on different vehicles. They weren't on skateboards, and some of them controlled differently and controlled a lot worse, like Jesse James and Steve-O. Here, they're all skateboarders. They're all on skateboards. So there's none of that finicky stuff introduced with, I don't know, having someone riding like a Zamboni or something, you know?
Yeah. Is that true of only the new ones, or is it true of the, like, do you still play as Jesse James riding that weird thing?
Only the new ones.
Only the new ones.
Only the new ones. Yeah. If you go to the old levels, those are the exact same as the console version.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. I mean, I'm honestly really impressed by the graphical fidelity and the amount of stuff they fit into a handheld game. I mean, that's really impressive.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, with this guy, it is still different because that is a longboarder. Like, that is a different kind of skateboard.
But it controls just like a skateboard.
Yeah. Because longboards are not that different.
And if I'm not mistaken, this is Shaba's, like, last Tony Hawk thing before Project 8, right?
Oh.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Next thing they did for Tony Hawk series was getting Project 8 onto PlayStation Portable.
Which... Well, and PlayStation 2. They did the PlayStation 2 as well.
Oh.
And let me just say, they did a much better job with this than they did with Project 8.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Project 8 on PlayStation 2 is not a fun game.
I wouldn't know.
We'll see that when we get there.
But, yeah.
By the way, this goes weird because when you complete it, the guy... When you listen to the guy talk, it's actually Paulie. Like, that skater there is actually supposed to be Paulie.
Yeah, they actually, as a shorthand, kind of reuse a bunch of voices from the main campaign.
Yeah.
Like, Paulie will show up again as a DJ in Atlanta. But, alright, so, you know, they've done a lot of work to turn a console game into, you know, a handheld game with additional content in just 6 months, but, you know, I will point out kind of some of the negatives. That, you know, along with, losing some graphical fidelity, you think of a PlayStation Portable. The controls are obviously different. You know, you have just the D-pad, one little analog stick, so you don't have the double analog sticks.
Oh, yeah.
And so the main thing you'll see is that while you're riding around on your skateboard, you use the D-pad mainly, and the little analog stick you can use to change the camera. When you're off your board, D-pad has you walk, little analog stick has you run. That means there is no camera support. When you're off your board. When you're off your board, you have to, like, have the game turn the camera for you based on, like, you know,
I hated that so much because I wanted to look around off my board and it's just like, you can't.
That's something where you don't know what you got until it's gone. Definitely, like, and I'm gonna introduce something here. You might notice these if you ever see a moment where I'm just getting jostled around or I'm not going where I need to go because I'm trying to, you know, do it off my board and I can't turn any camera or whatever, and I just, like, stop and then I just walk for a while. Walk for a few seconds until I'm, like, confident I can start running again. I'm gonna call that the Thug 2 remix walk. That's when I'm just fed up with the fucking game. This is short cutscene, so whatever. That's when I'm just fed up with the game. Not let me go where I need to go. It's the most major problem. It's not a game breaker, but it does sometimes lead to some frustration.
Pretty much.
Some little things is that, especially when you have to do a lot of inputs in a short amount of time, it feels like you need to be more precise with them. Like, maybe it's not as fluid as the console version. You know, you need to maybe be a lot more intentional, I'd say. And then really the smallest one, then, like, we'll point this out. Maybe you won't see this just from seeing the videos, but if you played the game, you'll know. Yeah. Balancing on grinds and lip tricks is a little weird.
It's
compared to the console.
What they've done,
I wouldn't say fucked, but
what they've done is they've made it more sensitive compared to the original Thug 2. So it's much more easier to, like, lose balance in Remix compared to regular Thug 2.
Yeah, it's, again, you'll kind of have to just, like, play it to know. And then the smallest thing I'll point out is that, like, of all the things where it's like, maybe they didn't do enough of them in Thug 2. We should make it happen much more easily. Wall pushes. For some reason, I'll accidentally wall push a lot more often in this version. But yeah, those are just the things I want to point out from biggest to littlest. Otherwise, it's a great version, and again, amazing that they got so much in and so much more in.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that was a Thug 2 remix walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, like, this genuinely does remind me of the time I've spent in Santa Cruz. Because, like, we see a lot of sea lions out there, and, you go to the beach and there's a lot of people just hanging around and being, just doing their thing. And, like, the town's very nice, and it's a pretty place to be.
Yep, surface about and all.
Yeah. Lots of restaurants along the boardwalk and stuff.
Yeah.
This building right here, I've been to a building. I think it's not obviously the exact same building, right? Like they would have had to, license that or whatever. But it's clearly supposed to be an homage to that. And the guy stopping you from going in, saying the boardwalk is closed, like, that's a thing.
Yeah. I didn't look up and see, like,
how much of this is like
based off
life.
of. Yeah. But probably some of it is.
Yeah.
So I owned this, like, on the PSP. I still technically do. I don't have PSP anymore, but I have the game because my PSP broke. And I will say, honestly, I think this game is much, like, easier and, like, probably better to play on an emulator than it is on the PSP. In my experience. Because, again, I've owned and played both, and I don't know, just this game with a controller just ends up working 1,000 times
I feel
better.
like that's just a case of the PSP and less so the game.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's what...
Yeah, like a thing I run into when I was, I have a PSP, I have this game, and the thing I run into with, handhelds is that if you move your hands at all, the screen moves, and your perspective to the screen moves. So even just...
Slightly.
Emulating this and just being able to look at a screen that is in place and does not move if you're, pushing buttons on the controller really helps out, yeah.
And like when you were mentioning the balancing thing, playing on an emulator, the balance doesn't even feel that bad. Like, surprisingly. Like, it doesn't even feel like it's that set. Again, I think the balancing thing might be the PSP thing.
Yeah.
Like, itself, with the sticks being sensitive.
Yeah, but, God. I gotta say this right now, the sand. Originally the sand wouldn't be that much of a deal, but with the fact you can't control the camera and the fact they made walking the D-pad and the stick running, it just makes this so much more awkward now with the sand.
I mean, you don't need to really get on the sand that much in this level.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, there's not...
Yeah.
There's not big stuff on the other side of the sand. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Until you get to Australia.
The day-night cycle here is... Oh, yeah, I guess Australia. But, the day-night cycle here is really nice, too.
This challenge was always so weird for me, because it's like... It's almost like it paints itself to be a line, but, like, it's definitely not.
It's definitely like, not, yeah,
everything's so, like, weirdly disjointed of, like, where you have to go.
Yeah, it's kind of haphazard.
Yeah. And, like...
I mean, to be fair, though, Santa Cruz wasn't built in a line. So they're trying to kind of capture that, but at the same time, it's, like, kind of weird.
Also hippies.
Yeah, here's our special guest.
It's a hippie, yeah.
And this is actually going to lead straight into kind of the destruction of the level. I mean, I'm going to call that just because it's that same kind of thing, but this is force of nature, not force of player here.
Accurate.
So yeah, you talk to the guy and he causes like a big storm which washes the logs and other stuff up onto the beach.
Yeah, and he's the guru.
That's also accurate.
Yeah, but then you talk to him and he will unlock the boardwalk for you.
Yeah.
So you can get in there and play around in there.
Oh.
And then he's also part of the group chat. I don't know.
Yeah, and the best way to get to the beach in this is like really real to it, because like the best way to get to the beach is through an arcade.
Yeah.
Through the arcade on the boardwalk, and it's like a really nice arcade. Yeah, actually, I don't. There are not a lot of people. There are not a lot of people who use the arcade there. Or when I was there weren't. But yeah, you actually go through the arcade with the pillars like they're shown here.
Oh, nice.
It honestly gives me the feels of the carnival back in Pro Skater 4. When it comes to this area.
If you're there in person, it is very carnival-like.
Yeah.
Like there's like clown motifs and stuff. It's like very carnival-like. Yeah.
And like I was gonna say this before about...
My mom takes her dog out here all the time.
I was gonna say this before about Tony Hawk Remix. I pretty much think I enjoy most, if not all, the levels. I'll get a refresher when I look at this. Like, I know I like this level. But, like, I feel like every of the new levels, like, good addition, but, like, the like goals themselves all didn't like seem like that interesting at all. But like that also might just be me with Tony Hawk Underground 2, because I don't think a lot of the goals in the entire game are very interesting. But yeah,
I mean, once again, unless a goal is really notoriously bad for me, if it's good, it's good. If it's there, it's there. To me.
Yeah, and I feel like later on with the remix levels, like, the goals do really shove something memorable later on.
Yeah. Like, especially Kyoto and Las Vegas are just going to be bright, flashy levels. Right. Actually, here, I kind of wish I got to the arcade in the daytime here, since it is a lot more vibrant in the day. I mean, sure, it looks cool here at night, but it is more vibrant in the day.
It is.
Yeah. So I'll also bring up that, these bonus levels are going to show up here, and also a lot of them in American Wasteland, the next mainline Tony Hawk game. It's like this Santa Cruz here, and Atlanta, and Kyoto are going to show up in American Wasteland under the classic mode. And Atlanta only in like the special edition of the game. Whereas Las Vegas was taken and just made as part of story mode as the casino. So, looking here, it's like, did Neversoft have these ideas in mind and kind of gave them to Shaba, or did, Shaba make them, and then part of the thing was like that Neversoft could also have them, because Neversoft basically took all of the, new content here and got it into that American Wasteland mainline game somewhere.
Pretty much.
And that's not saying like, oh, Neversoft stole this all. Again, probably part of the contract was that, if you make a level or something, we can use it later for a mainline. But it is just kind of surprising that all of the exclusive content, well, the levels, not the, special moves or the skaters, did show up in the next game.
Yeah. And you know what? I was actually going back to that pirate ship thing you did with the spine transfer. I was thinking about like what it reminded me of, and it reminded me of that one goal in aggressive inline.
Aggressive inline had the kind of boardwalk, fun fair as well.
I should go back to aggressive inline and see how much of that is inspired by Santa Cruz as well.
It's not.
Back when aggressive inline, when we were doing the LP of aggressive inline, my parents didn't live out there, so I'd never been. So
here's the thing. I can say the boardwalk in aggressive inline is definitely not Santa Cruz based. That's just an amusement park completely, like 100%. Like the only like he's just talking about how the like in aggressive inline they have like the shark boat that goes back and forth like the pirate ship does that you had to cross.
Yeah, just a similar idea or a set piece idea.
And this did come after aggressive inline, because that was back in like Pro Skater 4.
Yeah. So as part of once everything gets washed onto shore, this bounce pad gets washed up, and so this is how you're supposed to get up to the billboard for your pro.
Fuck Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Fuck fellow skate brand.
They actually made these just like normal billboards too. Before it was like there were gaps in the billboard, but now you just actually just spray paint over billboards like Quicksilver.
Yeah, spray painting over currently used billboards.
Yeah.
Fuck other skate companies.
Yeah. And just thinking about kind of the location again as well, that Neversoft hadn't really gotten back to like an American waterfront level once, like at this point where their games allowed a bunch of people to be on it and such. Like, Tony Hawk 4 had Sacramento? God. What was the second level in Tony Hawk 4?
San Francisco? Or
San Francisco, thank you.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk 4 in San Francisco, but yeah, nothing really onto this, and that's basically what American Wasteland is going to be. It's going to be like Los Angeles in the greater area. So like Santa Monica, they're going to basically get to do this kind of environment here that Shaba did with Santa Cruz. That's gonna be pretty cool, and that's maybe sort of why they, you know, went to sort of an open world, sort of where everything is kind of connected to each other. Yeah.
Also,
so they
Santa
could capture
Cruz,
the entire kind of California.
Yeah. Also, Santa Cruz is interesting on its ending too.
Yeah. So, got all 1,000 points. Here we go.
Dude, did you see that last wave?
Oh, dude, that was totally tubular.
You know, I could ride you just like I rode that wave.
Ha, as if.
Hey, what? Dude! Run!
Sad. Damn good potential, but you ignored the repercussions. 50 points for cunning, minus 40 because you clearly suck. But we all know who the real winner is here. Good job taking advantage of a sticky situation, Mike. And now it's time for the losers to suffer. The Wheel of Loogies. The wheel gets spun, the loogie gets hocked, and whatever it lands on, that's your fate. Phil, why don't you do the honors, fat boy?
Sink or swim.
Aha! It is a time of judgment for one very unlucky individual. This sad excuse for a human being will either succeed in this challenge or be banished, forever wiping out on the saddest of half-pipes, ridiculed by young and old alike. Now, if the weakest of you losers will kindly step forward, we will begin. I'm talking to you, you little jerk. This challenge is going to be tough. Pull it off, and you can stay on. Those vents on the rooftop should give you a real boost. Use them to get some gnarly air. You think you can handle that, rookie?
Don't worry, you can do this. Just stay focused, and you shouldn't have a problem.
So yeah, again, you know, new cutscenes, new voice acting by at least Bam. That was not Phil. But also immediately introducing kind of the post 1,000 goal points part of a level. Again, and you know, Thug 2, you had to wait until the back half of the game, but here in Santa Monica, yeah, you need to save your spot on the team by doing a quick 360 grab, which you kind of saw there where I like jumped too late. It's fine. It's just yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah, and you did it all without us.
Great job, bro. So now it's your call. What's it going to be for our next stop? Boston or Atlanta?
So here is kind of what they did. That you basically have alternative area choices. It's not truly branching paths like, you know, you go to Boston, you go to Atlanta, you'll go to one of them, but then after that you'll go to Barcelona, no matter what. But like here, yeah, I'm going to pick the alternate level choices. So we're not going to do Boston. Instead, we're going to do Atlanta, which is the next exclusive level to this game. Were you guys trying to say stuff during the cutscene?
Well, I was just going to say, I think it's funny that you're doing all this crazy stuff, and the thing that's going to save you to make them think you should stay on the tour is a 360.
Yeah, there were a lot of those air vents as well here. I didn't really use them, but it was definitely like Shaba wanted to introduce you to them early. But so yeah, we're going to go to Atlanta next time on Thug 2 Remix.